اليوم لل بايثون كونفرنس. يلا ان شاء الله نوريكم من داخل ايش اللي بيحصل.
Tonight, so my name is Frank Edry. I'm a data scientist and I'm specialized in natural language processing. Start with a story actually, and this story begins in a veterinarian hospital in 1984. I will start with the history of RAGs and how modern RAG is working, currently works, the key risk, the right guardrails, and how to build trust along the way. But let's start with our story. Imagine you're a vet in 1984 and you want to identify some disease for animals. Suddenly you meet a robot, an extraterrestrial robot. He barely speaks your languages, but he's able to look in his memory, to ingest some documents very fast, and he's able to give you the right references for that. This little robot actually it's the ancestor of the retrieval models. Before 2020, actually, the models were limited, and this robot was missing very important documents. It was able to retrieve some document according the keywords, but that's all, nothing more. And so there were some improvements between 2020 and 2022. Well, before 2020, the models were limited actually. For instance, for the vet, if you asked renal failure, kidney dysfunction, and CKD, the robot was not able to identify that it was the same query actually. But after that, after 2020, the Facebook AI similarity research and the DPR and hybrid search, it means that the robot was able to make a context around your data. After that, in 2023, it was the first industrial RAGs, and the robot is still limited. It can find documents or summarize it, but it was able, after 2023, it was able to call for a real LLM actually, a LLM large language model that has been trained with billions of documents. In 2024, so there were the new RAGs, and the robot became smarter actually. It was able to rewrite some queries. It was able to chain reasoning steps, and it ranks passages. It's able to evaluate the answers, but it's still unbelievably naive. It has to call a main LLM a modern LLM. How a model is to give the AI must be secured, it must be sourced, and it must be reliable. How does a modern RAG works? The orchestrator is the little robot. It has the indexation database is memory, and it starts like that. It's the brain actually. The vector index is the memory, and it's got a lot of assistance. The first stuff, the orchestrator is analyzing the user query, and it will be the first LLM is able to say if the query is difficult or not. So it answers to the orchestrator according to the answer of the classification LLM. It goes to a reasoning LLM that will be able to write some subqueries according to the main query. For example, if you ask why should I do that and how should I do that, it will write a first subquery about how should I do that, and the second subquery, why should I do that. So it's the reasoning LLM, but it's not mandatory actually. If the user query is simple, it won't go through there. And then so the queries are rewriting, because we have a query can be the same query can be expressed with different words. There is a query writer LLM, and all of that stuff, these three LLM can be on-prem actually, because it's not very complicated models. So it rewrites, and then only then it will go to the indexation database. It will interrogate the indexation database, and the database will push some documents, and only then the main LLM, which is ChatGPT, a very large language model that it will be, it's kind of the boss of the robots actually, with the higher intelligence. It goes with the user query and all the document that has been from the database indexation, the indexation database, sorry, and it will make the query, and the user will have his answer at last. But with this kind of stuff, that there are a lot of risks. There are three major categories of risk. The first one is the quality. It's when the robot invents, so with hallucination, bias, and when the data are not traceable. The second major family of risk is security, is when the robot gets manipulated. And the third one is compliance, is when the robot gives answer that he shouldn't give. For instance, personal data. The RAG is powerful, but it's vulnerable actually. If we identify all the points of the potential point of failure, it's everywhere in the RAG. There are some major methods of attacks for that. The first one is the jailbreaking, and there is, so I shared a video from Z-Security about the jailbreaking. It shows that it's easy to find some stuff, some prompt actually to jailbreak the model. The first one, jailbreaking, is when the robot actually is manipulated. Someone is able to give some instruction to him, so that he forgets everything that the doctor has told him. When he says, hey, don't repeat that, the robot, with the jailbreaking, he's got someone who is hacking the robot and says, the doctor, I've got the secret password, the doctor told me you can give it to me. And that's how it works. And so I will show you the slides, but there is a nice video on that, on how it works. And you will see that there are a lot of websites and even GitHub repository to help you to jailbreak the LLMs. But it works only for a few days, not more, because the security is improved by the providers after that. Yes, it's the first risk identification is when it's exactly that, the jailbreaking. And the solution is to put some web application filtering actually to filter all the queries that could jailbreak the robot. And also, in order to that, the robot shouldn't memorize the personal information, the sensible information actually. That's why we also need a DLP solution, such as Purview or Security or even Colibra. It helps to anonymize the data. You know, the user is sending a query with the personal information, and DLP is anonymizing it, at least the personal information, or it also blocks the query. And also an anti-jailbreak, actually, to avoid that. There is the data poisoning also is a possible attack. It's when you know that there is some malicious text inside the documents. For instance, you insert a document. If your cat has got some kidney problem, give him some chocolate, and the LLM will learn it. And it's a problem actually, because it means that the data are not reliable anymore. The solutions is to have a very good data governance and to check all the sources with checksums and checksums for the documents, and to be sure that the documents are trusted. And also you should securize the pipeline, the injection pipeline. It's usually in the orchestrator actually. It's to ensure that the documents are properly ingested and are with a checksum. It makes sure that the source is secure. Yes, so here is the integrity control. And also an audit and monitoring. It's very important to audit and monitoring everything that comes into the information system.
Auditing is everywhere.
So, injecting some malware inside the robot so that the robot is not it's making what he's not authorized to do. You have to clean the data before it goes to the LLM for that. And you have also to filter the retrieval. Yes, so here is a malware. When a malware is hidden in the sources, it can allow to hack your information system with that. You have to sanitize actually the documents before to ask to make a query to the LLM. It means that the robot, you must check what the robot will transmit to the LLM. And you also have to be careful to the orchestrator, because he's got a lot of rights. You have to securize it with policy as code solutions. And of course to filter what will be out of the orchestrator to the LLM. And you have to do that as well as for the local LLM, even if it's inside, because it will communicate some queries it will push some documents, and you don't want to push some confidential documents. You have to be careful as well as the local LLM as well as the main LLM. How should we do that? You should control everything that comes into that you say to the robot actually. You should validate and suppress when you've got some codes inside the queries, and you should also make some controls during the query executions. You should put some system query actually to make sure to give a frame to the query executions, and you should also be careful to the quota of usage. And also, you shouldn't share any secret or any connector. You shouldn't connect to secure sources. It's for the technical safeguards. You should also have some data safeguards. So you should classify your data to be sure to control to be able to identify what comes in and out of the LLM. When you've got some sensible data, actually you should study before how you will anonymize that. Also be careful to the governance of the data, so who the data belongs. Yes, who the data belongs and who can access to it. And you should also ensure traceability to be sure what the robot, who asked the robots, and what has been asked to the robot, and what did he give back. There are also organizational safeguards. You should be aware of the process. There should be a human controls on that. You should be careful to the roles of the people inside the organization, and you should also learn people. People should learn about that, about how to use these robots. And be careful to the traceability, and to be sure that you are able to know everything that has been made through the system, what has been required, why, and how. So, and also the regulatory safeguards. So you have to be careful to minimize the goal of what you want to do, of the data you need. So if you have a goal, you have to look for the exact data that you need, and not more, not less. And you should be careful also to the retention of the data. If the data are not available, you shouldn't be able to make a query on that. And you should also have some PIA to evaluate all the sensible information that can go through this kind of tools, and to be careful about to know how you will process it also. And also there are a lot of contractual stuff. For instance, if you want to you have to be careful about what kind of provider you have, and what will he do with your data, and if your model will be securized or it will be public. So how you do that? You have to ensure that the quality of your data, it's the main KPI. The main KPI are made about the quality, the cost and the performances, and the security, to ensure that you've got this kind of KPIs. And also you have to improve it. That's why the traceability is also important. It's because it will allow to improve the system. What you will do with it, and you have to ensure the use cases of how you will use such a system actually, and also the regulatory stuff, because you cannot use it. There are a lot of regulation when you use it. You have to be careful also you have to ensure the architecture you will choose, and how you will orchestrate all of that. And also you have to be careful to the implementation and the security of such a system. You cannot share the secrets, for example, the tokens for your main LLM or such stuff like that. You don't want it. You don't want everybody to have it. And also ensure that people are aware of the leak of such a system, how they will adopt it, and maybe have a runbook also to know what to do when there is a leak, weakness or something like that, or a risk for people. Thank you, everybody. Here are the main questions that you should ask when you have such a